is up, guys? Welcome to Nikki Expressions. So it's such a nice day out, I figured we'd give it a go and try to do this outside. Yeah, so you might hear some wind, you might hear some background, but you know what, like I said, it's nice out and I wanted to get outside. So today is all about how many of you have a hard time of letting go. And I don't mean just letting go of people, but you can't let go of things, you can't let go of possessions. Like, it's just hard for you to let go because you hold on to such sentimental values. So this is something I wrote called Letting Go. It also goes hand in hand with learning how to be alone. So I'll go ahead and do like I've been doing. I'll read this real quick and then talk about it. So this is letting go. Hope you like it. We hold on so tightly to what doesn't support us. Constant fear of not bringing everything into the next chapter of our lives. Just like old clothes that no longer fit us, some people are no longer good for the mind. We try to make everything last forever. We cannot see through clouded visions. All of these possessions are not meant for the next endeavors. Why is it so hard to accept they've completed their mission? We can't accept what is or let go of what was. It's like a bad dream you can't wake up from. The chapter is closed. It's time to move on. What used to be is forever gone. Once accepted, your life begins. No more fear of silent isolation. The quiet has given you peace within. You hold on to memories, but not as a crutch. You see, there's tranquility in being alone. No longer a prisoner of your mind, for it is a new place to call home. All right, so that one is called Letting Go. So here's the deal. We hold on to these things because they hold some type of sentimental value to us. And we do that with people. People change. People's ideas change. People's personalities changes. People's values change. Everything in a person changes. And we hold on to people like this in thinking that they're gonna change back or that they're gonna stay the person that we once loved. And I don't mean that just for relationships. This happens a lot in friendships too. Friendships run their course. Relationships sometimes run their course. You know, I believe in marriage, I believe in vows. I'm not saying I don't, I'm not saying don't work on it. But anyways, you have to accept when things have ran their course. I'm not the same person I was 1 year ago. I'm definitely not the same person I was 2 years ago. Maybe the same hair color, that's it. Anyways, and if you're a person and if you've grown at all, then you're not the same person you were either. And that's okay. That's what life is about: growing, evolving, changing, becoming somebody new, becoming who you always wanted to become, and you become that through life lessons. But so I wrote Letting Go because there are a lot of people who can't let go. And I'm one of those people in the sense that it should be switched, but in the sense I can't let go of old like clothing or old pictures or old little cards and gifts that someone gave to me. You know what I mean? They hold absolutely no value. When I think about it, outside the box, it's like, what does this even do for me? It doesn't do anything. It's not something I sit up and read every day. It's something I'll come across when I'm, moving or I'm, clearing out the garage. I'm like, oh, I want to keep this. For what? The memory has come and gone. The moment has passed. It's done. People will hold on to relationships and friendships in the same way because they want the person that they fell in love with. And here's the deal. If you're going to fall in love with somebody, if you're going to be good friends with somebody, you have to accept that that friendship is not going to be where it was 24/7. It doesn't work like that. Because if that's the case, I'd still be 15 years old in my 20s. And that's not how life goes. If that's the case, you would still be X age in whatever age you're at now, and that's not how life goes. You can't be the same person. So that's why I wrote that. Now, to piggyback off of that, there is a deal of some people don't let go of things because they don't want to be alone. And I get it. It's being alone for some, it's exhilarating. I'm one of those people where I find the most comfort in being alone. I love my man, I love my family, I love my friends, I love kicking it with them, but at the end of the day, like, I kind of start to get mean if I don't have any me time. And I have found that, some of my best ideas or some of my best thoughts or just everything comes with being alone. Some people are opposite of that. They get too panicked when they're alone for too long, and so they want to, they always need somebody by them. There's nothing wrong with it, but there is also, like I said, there's what did I say? There's comfort. What it translates to is there's comfort in being alone. There's like, when you can figure out who you are and what you like, there's nothing like it. And this goes back to my last post of being unapologetically you. Once you know who you are and what you like and what you don't like and what you'll tolerate and what you won't tolerate, then life kind of begins. Then you're unapologetically you. Then you're doing you. You're doing your own thing. You're okay with criticism. You're okay with, with not getting all the positive feedback you want. You're also okay with letting people go. Once you learn to be alone, then it's like, okay, well, yes, I love this person and I want them in my life, but at the same time, they're not adding any value to it. It's okay. I know how to be by myself, and you'll be by yourself. But the sad thing is, the way we live is no one really knows how to be by themselves. And no one knows what it is that they like in life. And no one knows their own hobbies. And no one knows their strengths. And no one knows their weaknesses. And that takes years and years to kind of figure out. And not to get off topic, I'm going to just use me as a quick little example. But it's like, I went from one relationship to another. I've had 2 solid relationships in my life. And I mean romantic, not friendship-wise. And the romantic relationships took 6 years in between. The solid friendships I had in between was about 2. And so that's just it. Each time something happened, I made sure to take the time to figure out who I am and what I like and what I want. And so now, moving forward as an adult, I can sit there and say, like, well, I do like this, I don't like this, and I can speak on it, I can act on it, I can, pick my friends and my partners, based on that. And that's what I feel is important for everybody, and that's what I feel like everybody should be able to do is, learn how to be alone, learn what you like, learn what you don't like, and not only that, don't get so hung up on one person or one item. They end for a reason. The person is gone. He or she is out of the picture, and it's for a reason. Instead of dwelling on, I wish I had that, let's start dwelling on, oh, it actually, when I take a step out of, when I step out of the box, I realize that I didn't like that they did X, Y, and Z, or I did like when they did X, Y, and Z, or I, want somebody who would do, it could be something that they did that you really liked, and you want that in your next, friendship, relationship, whatever it is, and that's fine. That's what this is all about. So, that's learning to let go. This is also learning to be alone. Let me branch off. Let me go back to the alone thing. I think I've covered learning to let go very well. Why are these cars coming up the road? Like, hello? It's a small street. Anyways, I think I've covered learning to let go pretty well. But learning to be alone, what did I say in my poem? That's when life begins or something like that? I have to look back. I write these things, but I don't memorize them. But anyways, but I truly believe that is when life begins. Diesel. Anyways, I truly believe that that's when life begins, and that's when you figure out what you like. It took me personally, it took me being single to realize that I like to write. It took me being laid up on crutches to remember that I like to write. It took me being single to realize, like, I like to go to the gym. I like to lift weights. I'm not big on looking good, but I like to feel good. And it's little things like that. It took some time to realize, and I wouldn't have figured any of this out if I didn't spend some time with myself. On the contrary, or not the contrary, but on the opposite end of it, the part people fear being alone because they fear their own thoughts. And I was that person. You sit there alone and you think about how you're alone, and you think about everything bad that's ever happened to you, and you think about all, you start to get anxiety because you think about the wrong shit that you did, even if it was as simple as waving to the wrong person. You think about that, and that's just it. People, you have to kind of, when I spent a lot of alone time in the beginning, these are the first thoughts that are going to come to your mind, but that's because that's what you've trained your mind to believe. You've trained it to believe that you have to think negative first, and that's not the case. Now, if you've already trained it that way, then that might be your first stepping stone. Your first stepping stone is to really think of all the negative shit that you've done, and fucking think of all the negative thoughts that you already have, and think to yourself, like, give yourself some anxiety. I fucked up here, I fucked up there, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. That's fine. That's a natural part of life. But don't stay there. Once you're done with that thought, then start thinking of, for me, it'd be, okay, what would Nikki like? For you, it's, okay, what would I like? What would I like to do? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want out of this? And it'll all start making some sense. So this is another one that went on long, but it was supposed to, so, okay, funny story, not funny, but so this was actually supposed to be two things. I was going to do one portion on letting go and one portion on learning how to be alone, but then I realized that a lot of people have a fear of letting go because they don't want to be alone, so I figured, why not combine the two and make one long video? So if you stayed and watched this, I extremely appreciate it. Please send this out to somebody who has a hard time letting go or has a hard time being alone. And I'll try to separate them as best as I can in the video so that you can tell them we'll start at, 4:32 or whatever. But anyways, if you stayed and watched this whole thing, like I said, I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. Please like it, share it to your friends or family who you feel could relate to it. Subscribe to my channel. This is basically what it is. There'll be some fun stuff, like I said, there'll be some fun stuff coming up. Someone's gonna give me a face full of makeup. That should be pretty funny. I might put my ankle workouts on there since I can't fucking do shit to my ankle right now, so I might put the rehabilitation thing on there. This is where all the ums come in, really. Anyways, but yeah, like, share, subscribe. My Facebook link is, if you go to my homepage, it's on my banner. My blog is on there. This writing is on my blog. My Instagram is on there at nikki.expressions. I'd really appreciate all the follow backs and stuff. Yeah, that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.